Alright folks, hopefully you can hear me. We're going to go ahead on our finale now. Let me flip this around. Alright, so we got 1600 cc, a 1.6 liter Ford 1980 with a 2-barrel Weber put inside what was a 650 Joyner. Now it's a Fordoyner. And did a lot of modifications. We got the new fuel pump, redid the fuel tank, made our own mount brackets, re-welded them, cut them off, put them in the right places so that they fit. Internally regulated alternator. Rebuilt the carb. So here we go. Well, that trip was going great, but I decided to really get into it hard on the way back, and the axle broke on this side again, but not in the same spot. It's a whole different spot that I didn't even realize it had a break in it. It's up front here. My weld held. This is the one that I did right here, but this one had a weld onto it, and this did not hold. I would have redid that one too had I known, but so I got to take it back and re-weld it again, and we'll run it again. But it was sort of a finale. The engine's going fantastic. I did figure out what was going on with the carburetor, and I fixed it. There is a little tiny hole that comes right here, and every time that you rev it up, gas would shoot out of this little tiny hole. So I had my finger over it and revved it up. It revved up beautiful, perfect, no problem at all. No hesitation, nothing. So I went ahead and put a tiny bit of JB weld over that little hole, and it's been running fantastic ever since. So I don't know what that little hole is supposed to be for, but gas was flowing through it. I think this whole problem is the carburetor's crap, and I'm going to have to get another carburetor for it, because there's definitely something wrong with this carburetor. Maybe go to pick and pull or something and pull off another carburetor that'll mount on this. And I'm sure they got some 4 cylinders out there, some old ones with some carburetors, just to look around. But other than that, everything's been running fantastic. Other than I didn't fix that other weld. It was all the way up front. I'm going to have to do that when I get home. But yeah, other than that, I guess this is sort of the finale. It has so much power, it's incredible. It hit almost 40 miles an hour in first gear before shifting into second. It was just flying. And I gunned it all the way to the floor in first and then put it in second, just on the way back, and then I snapped the axle. Hit some really big bumps, but that was a weld that I didn't fix. So my welds actually held. I did one on this side too. I didn't record that because I had welded this side too before. Just put a tack weld on the outside instead of fixing it the right way. And so I fixed this one, and both of my welds held that I did, but that tack weld that was just on the outside of there, towards the inner side, it's just kind of pushed up against the other bar now. That one didn't hold, which I'm not surprised. If I had really been paying attention, I would have fixed that too. But now I got to take that tire back off, but it's an easy process, so ripping out the axle on these are super easy. So it is no big deal. I could have it done in a half an hour or so, half hour, 45 minutes with it all put back together. It'll have to be another day though, because it's getting dark out now, starting to. So we're right at the evening. So I'll sign off here.